Since Marconi and Tesla scrambled to be the first to communicate wirelessly, the world has seen so much change in technology. Perhaps one of the first wonders of the 20th century will go on to be one of the greatest benchmarks of the 21st century. 30 years ago, I had a job selling business and personal pagers. At the time, mobile phones were permanently affixed in cars or included a monstrous backpack-style battery. Now, the largest of the smartphones are about the same size as one of those old pagers. Today's wireless technology is small enough to hide in a tattoo, fast enough to move the largest files instantly from one location to another, and capable of transmitting so much more than the spoken word. It appears that human beings are no longer the only intelligent beings communicating. For example, if you want to fill a room with sound but you do not want to deal with a lot of wires, you can get these light bulb speakers that screw into a standard light socket. No other connection is required, and the room is instantly filled with incredible sound being beamed through the air from a selected device. It is hard to think of wireless technology without having a Bluetooth ear device crossing your thought. But did you know that Bluetooth goes way beyond talking on the phone? With the emerging technology of today, Bluetooth technology supports data communication and transfer as well as audio communication and full stereo. The Blue Can speaker is a tiny little speaker with a great big sound. This device can be sat on a table or even hung on a wall for better acoustic value. Now, wireless is being used to power microphones, instruments, lights, and communications at concerts around the world. The musician can strap on his wireless Les Paul and freely mingle as he walks through the audience, and the director can stay in communication with the entire crew while moving from the backstage all the way to the front of the house. The sheer need for the convenience of wireless technology will open countless doors to the monetization of the technology. The multitude of directions the technology is advancing in will continue to supply the demand for it. With each new application for wireless, several new businesses will find a place for it in the future. Hundreds will incorporate its use in probably just the next few months. Just imagine you pull your car into the shop because it's making that funny whirring sound. The mechanic asks you for a number and punches it into his computer. Suddenly you hear the chime indicating the upload is complete, and voila, the mechanic prints up a sheet with what is wrong with the vehicle and exactly what it will cost you to fix it. All of that occurs in a few minutes. No waiting, no leaving the car, and the mechanic never sets foot outside the building. Now let's just take it one step further. Instead of taking your car to your favorite shop, you simply give the mechanic the same number over the phone from your office. Now you have all of the same information, including a time you can bring your car by to get it all done in one trip. Wireless internet once meant that we installed a wireless router that distributed the internet signal throughout our house that could be picked up by a computer equipped with a wireless PCI card or a laptop with built-in wireless. Now we can be in our house, at play, or at our place of work and pick up our internet signal being sent from miles away over the same tower we get our cell phone service from. 3G and 4G wireless internet is becoming obsolete already, and companies that provide dedicated wireless internet are beginning to pop up in metropolitan and rural settings all around the country. In response to higher speeds and better availability, the cell phone companies are now experimenting with a new wireless technology that in effect hyperthreads the signal both ways simultaneously. This will eventually lead to much faster connections on the 5G and 6G networks to come, but also provokes the question, will they increase the contract bandwidths we are allowed on their limits to match the increase in speed? In a truly creepy and Orwellian fashion, the eye of the Terminator can now be found in the contact lens. The wearer does not see anything until he or she gets in range of an internet signal. Once the device is activated, a non-intrusive computer screen will appear like a pop-up on the contact, just like in the movie terminator. Only the wearer can see the images and the data on the screen, and when the device is deactivated or leaves the wireless range, the images disappear and the contact becomes invisible to the wearer. This will be a tremendous aid for the business person conducting a presentation whom suddenly loses his or her train of thought. Conceivably, satellite technology may eventually take a back seat to the wireless technology when it comes to data transfer. For instance, a live news broadcast can now be occurring in New York and be received in Los Angeles in an instant, all completely wirelessly. As servers and data warehouses adopt beefier technology and encryption coding evolves into an invisible force field of security, we will see technology, albeit airborne, staying closer and closer to the ground. Finally, while all of the inventions and innovations continue to stream out of developer laboratories all over the world, there are still circumstances where secured information can be hacked or the wireless signal itself can cause damaging interference. For these situations, a mind-boggling new technology is about to be released. It's called visible light communication. This technology takes the concept of the light bulb speaker and feeds it a steady diet of steroids. Scientists have discovered a way to transmit a wireless internet signal up to 800 megabytes through a visible beam from a ceiling light. Under the light, the user can receive internet at speeds just recently thought decades away. The moment the user steps out of the visible beam, the signal is terminated. This technology will be a huge security benefit where wireless technology may carry secure information, for instance. By containing the signal to specific areas, the chance of a wireless thief having access to a signal is greatly thwarted. In a hospital, a doctor or a nurse could carry a wireless device freely. When a signal is needed to transfer data, the doctor or nurse can simply step into the light. Containing the signal in this environment can prevent the high-speed signal from interfering with the crucial life-saving equipment that might otherwise be adversely affected by that signal. In many cases, wireless technology is both disruptive and evolutionary technology. It is really all a matter of perspective. HughesNet came out with satellite internet a dozen or so years ago to combat slow speeds in rural communities where other means were currently unavailable. Now HughesNet will be scrambling as companies like G-Tech Wireless and AirCard Technology begin to find their way into geographic locations where once satellite offered the only solution. If you happen to be a customer looking for faster internet, the technology is evolutionary. If you happen to be HughesNet, the technology is definitely disruptive. The same perspectives are shared about the lead guitarist that is no longer tripping over his cables and the guy that used to manufacture those cables. Looking at the leaps and bounds with which emerging wireless technology is advancing in just the last 15 years compels us to wonder how far it will go in the next 15 years. Perhaps FedEx and UPS will begin wireless shipping. Is it possible that the next big wireless transfer after that might be that of a human being? Beam me up, Scotty.